To all those above me that watch over me, to all of you, my fave para peeps on this side of the veil, welcome. This is the Paranormal Ministry. I'm your host, Shawn Whittington. I'm a seminarian in the United States Old Catholic Church, and I'm coming to you live from my haunted house, my very haunted house, where I live. And it has not been quiet today, and I know why. Because it's the last Monday of the month. And you know what that means? It's Happy Medium Monday tonight. And my very special co host is in the green room. If there's anything you want to know about me and my wife and our ministry work, go to our website, www.ghost-b-gone.biz. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But without further ado, live from Cape Cod, Cape Cod's only live on air psychic radio personality, and a good friend of mine that I've known feels like forever. Please welcome to the show the happy medium herself, Susan Ahern. Hello, Susan.
Hello.
So I'll let everybody know for the new people
Okay.
tuning in. You are giving free live on air psychic readings tonight for the whole show. The show's only an hour long, I know, but
I
here's the rules,
know.
guys. We're not doing any conjuring. Um, that takes up a lot of energy and a lot of time. The show's only an hour long. Having said that, if a spirit does come through and give Susan a message for someone, most definitely she will relay that message. But she's just doing answering questions pertaining to what I call the big five: employment, health, travel, love, money. You just type your question into the chat room. Susan will see it, or my co-host Zach will see it and put it up there, and she'll read it and she'll give you your reading. And Ali will explain why she wasn't here on Halloween night, which was a Monday night. Basically, she dumped on me, but it's a busy time of the year. She's in mass, and Halloween's a busy time of the year, so she had plans, and that's why. But Susan, I'll let you know. So many people reached out to me, not only like the week leading up to that show, Halloween night show that I did, and a few days afterwards, want to know what happened to you. And even this week, when I started promoting that we're gonna have only two Happy Medium Mondays left this year,
Mhm.
people are like, "Oh my gosh, she's coming back." I thought, when she wasn't there last month, that she wasn't doing it any longer. So, all this excitement from all these people, and watch, we won't get one person that calls in or types in a
Yeah.
question. But having said that, I heard from a good old friend of yours today. I was taking a nap and I didn't get the call, but she left a message. Margot.
Did you
Yeah,
really?
she seemed to be like a little
Confused?
like, will you please let me know if she's on the show tonight?
Oh, she was mad
Um,
at you. So yeah, she goes through these
so
phases. Either she's like really kind or she's yelling at you.
so I sent her a text back because
Yeah. Oh,
I
good.
couldn't call her. I was busy.
Yeah.
That you were on the show tonight, and I told her the name change of the show. Same time though, and I did tell her the two big differences is that we're on Facebook Live
Hmm.
and we don't take calls. That you have to be watching and then type your question into the chat
Right.
room.
Right.
So, oh, Kelly. Hi, Kelly. She has a question for you. Can you
All
see that?
right. Yes, I can. Will her health condition ever go away? Um, it's interesting. They're rephrasing that will there's like a spectrum of what is happening with your health. And um oh, they're getting really deep with me here. It's going to get better. It's going to wane, and it has to do with a higher change in your energetic sphere of what it's hard for me to explain what they're talking about, but it's like an upgrade in your energetic field. So depending on what you feel about your condition matters of how long it's going to take. if you've had this for a long time and you feel like this is it's much a part of your being, it's going to take longer. If you can free yourself from it and disassociate and disconnect from it, you'll have a better chance of getting ahead of it or getting beyond it somewhat. I hope that's helpful. Yeah, I feel like it's you've been in it so long that you're feeling like it's almost a part of you and that you can't get around it. So you've got to change that mental perspection on what's happening with your illness so that you can get ahead of it. Because it's defining you, and I don't want you to be I am my sickness. Okay? So that's I want you to think I am healthy, I am well, I am positive, I am light, I am truth and trust and all of that. And that's really what changes um in someone's condition. I hope that was helpful. It's
I
never
hope
good
so
when we
too.
don't feel well. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, isn't that the truth? And especially now
Mhm.
that you're much younger than I am, but you grow a real appreciation for health. Like you hear the cliche people talk about all the time. If you don't have your health, you don't got nothing.
Mhm.
Um, for me, there's a few other things added on to that too that you also need, but that is so true. And I've gone through my bouts, and with Sharon too.
Mhm.
We've had our issues
Yeah.
throughout the years, and it's just a bummer when you're sick.
Mhm.
But having said that, um, what do you like? You and I were so much alike, but at the same time, we're very different. But we respect each other, we love each other, and we're good friends, and it is what it is. But how you see things,
Mhm.
being gifted the way you are, and how you go about doing things, is there anything that you would recommend for her to do that would help her psychologically
Right.
shift that spin, that
Mhm.
orbit that her brain is going through with this thought pattern?
Mm.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Jackie. So, we can't and I say we can and we can't. We can't control really how we leave. Like if it's our time and that's the way it is, it's our time. But you can control how we look at it, how we are within it. You can either be in the suffering of it or you can diminish the suffering by throwing that love into it. And there's a peace and a joy and the trust that you can be in it even though you're not well. It just depends on how you want to look at it and how we kind of put our energy to it. And someone could say, well, that's easy. You're not suffering right now. But when nobody knows who's suffering. We are all suffering. I live in chronic pain and I'm allergic to pain medication. So I live in chronic pain. So I know what
Wow,
suffering is.
I did not
Um,
know that about you. I'm sorry.
no, and that's okay. That's what I mean. Like you go, oh, okay, I could be, you know, but I'm choosing not to. And so you can just change how you choose to see it. And I've heard people say, oh, just offering it up, offering that pain up. I think that that's kind of a form of it, other than I'm choosing not to suffer, and I'm choosing to make every single just looking at it one day at a time. Like I'm going to start today off in joy, and I'm going to continue that as I go along through my day. And I have to check in with myself. I may fall way off that train, and I have to pull myself back into it. I have my own challenges. Everybody has challenges, and so I'm not without them. But I pull myself back. I re-examine and go, okay, I'm falling off again, and then I just recheck. Um, on the way over, it was just kind of messing with me. I had something that I'm struggling with that I had to just let go, and I have to trust. And I could feel the anger pulling coming up around this subject that I can't change. I have no control over, and I'm not that. I like to. I'm an action person, so for me to trust and just to surrender to it is hard for me. And so I kind of had to just surrender on the way over. So it's you. I'm constantly checking as we go along the day. So
I'm glad Jack Wellen popped back up there. Did I interrupt you? I think she had a question for you, and I think I interrupted you.
um,
Jackie, did you
it
have a
was
question?
she did. It was about a friend, or maybe she just wanted to. I thought she was going to lose a friend a
Health is
week
such a
ago.
big thing. I thought I was going to lose a friend a week ago. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
And Mary Freidenberg. Mary, I love you. Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I am related to Mary Freidenberg's, so you can feel sorry for her. Um, so
Right.
I got family in the house. I'll let you go ahead and handle Mary.
Okay. So my question would be to go back to him and um, really ask some questions. At this time, is this good for me? Why would I want to start a business? Why, because if he's retired and he wants to just retire, that's great. But is he taking on responsibility that's not necessary? And that's what the spirits is saying. They're like, okay, is he can do whatever he wants, but does he need to? Is he avoiding something? Is he working too hard? Does he need to stop? Is he bored? And sometimes we put things on our plate to avoid. So I don't know if that's the case here, but they're saying, yeah, if he wants to start his business, he can do whatever he wants. He just has to. That's he's not really kicking back. I mean, slow, and they're just saying slow and steady. Don't go crazy. This is the wheel. It's slowly moving forward. It can move fast, and water moving fast is always very damaging. Look at everybody that right now going through all this flooding in the world. Water can be beautiful and cleansing, and a part of rituals, or it can be very damaging and moving fast. So he's got to answer some deep questions first that only he can answer. But he's got the go ahead if that's what he really wants. He just has to figure out how much he wants to put on his plate. I'd like to see him play more, not be so busy. Um, but that's me.
Great question. I love you, Mary. Thank you for the question. I hope that helped. Give the family my best. Oh, hi, Kelly.
All right. So, Kelly, I'm going to ask it. Clearly, you're a sensitive. Do you feel like part of your illness comes from being a sensitive? Like you may have picked up something, or you are holding more than your share of the planet's, because so that your illness came on right before COVID. So just as things were getting yucky on the planet, I'm wondering if that has anything to do with how you're physically feeling. And maybe we need to take your illness. We go through the back door kind of at your illness, and lots of sensitives get very sick and take on when they take on too much, or they don't filter correctly. So I'm wondering if that's part of Kelly's problem. Um, and if she's seeing and hearing things, it's like, well, there you go,
Then she can join our club.
right? And right now things are very noisy. Oh my gosh. I've all like the past couple days, I was like, what is going on? Like things knocking, falling down, banging, stuff in the basement going flying. I'm like, I walked down, I'm like, what's this doing here? Like why is that on the floor? So yeah, it has been very active. How about your house?
No. And
Really?
yeah, and this is what I want to ask you. I'm not going to ask you anything because that's rude. Because I think that if I were to ask you something about this,
Mhm.
it might involve some conjuring. I'm not sure. I don't know how you do your
Okay.
thing, and I know that's against the rules tonight. But over the last couple of weeks, somebody's
Mhm.
been whispering in my left ear. I know it's not my mom. I know it's not my dad. They have different ways
And
of
it's not Sharon.
It's not shenanigans. Um, when it happens, if I'm either watching the TV, listening to the radio, or here doing work on the computer, and maybe watching
Mhm,
something on YouTube or got the something.
mhm,
Um, so I will turn off whatever I'm listening to just to make sure, and it usually still happens shortly after that. The first time I hear it, I can't make out what the whisper is,
mm.
what it's saying, and so I just thought I would throw that out there and see anything, um, if anything, you anybody saying anything to you.
Anyone? Anyone?
Hey, Susan, I believe that Kelly stepped away from her computer. Can you ask her the question again?
Oh, sure. Um, I have, well, what were we talking about? We were talking about, oh, her being sensitive. And I'm wondering if her illness has any connection to her being sensitive, meaning intuitive or psychic or spiritually sensitive in some way. And where her illness, she said, started 3 years ago. That was right before COVID. I'm wondering if that has anything to do with um, her not filtering or filtering too, taking in too much. Especially when we start, when we're, I can't speak for everyone, but I know it through my class when I'm teaching that, oh, that could do it too. Sorry about hitting my mic. That could do it too because that's a filtration. Okay. My guess, Kelly, is that you are very sensitive, and we need to give you the tools to shut down that noise. And they're showing me that you may be even sensitive to noise. So we need to kind of help pull that in so that you're not bombarded by it, and it's like almost too much for your physical body. And so we create these things in our body, and they're real. It's not like we're creating them and it's pretend. They're real. Our body is just reacting to whatever's happening in the energy fields around us. So that would be my guess.
And there is the one and only.
Oh, Margot slid in. Hey, Margot. Wonderful. I'm glad you came tonight. Yay.
I am so surprised. I thought for sure it would be the two questions we would get from Margot would be, when am I getting my damn money? And will I get away with murdering my lawyer?
No,
So
she's going right to
she's
love.
she's totally throwing me for a loop here. I'll let you handle it. Hi, Margot.
Wait, I wasn't expecting the soulmate. First name of my soulmate. Oh gosh, Margot. I can't answer that. I wish I could. I'd have the first name of my soulmate, but that's not possible either. So here we go. And I'm sorry that you
Hopefully it's not Joe and he's not 80.
Lucifer. He's a great guy.
Uh,
Have at it. No, and I'm sorry you had a hard time opening up Facebook. It seems to be today, this Monday. I don't know what's happening with the planets. I didn't look specifically, but it seems to be that it everything has been wonky. Even the show this morning, we had a hard time. We were like an hour late getting on just because it was crazy. So I am not an avid fan of soulmates. I think that we our human needs and ego have run with soulmate, and we've twisted it. What I've seen about soulmates is that soulmates aren't the best thing to have. You don't want your soulmate because your soulmate is someone that is going to poke every button you have because they're the one that has the combination to your crazy, to your heart, to your money, to your everything. You do not want a soulmate because you're constantly going to be in learning mode. And that's hard. And those lessons are usually pretty tough. Go for just a brand new partner. I would like that for you. A brand new partner and nothing crazy. Enough with the crazy. That's for you, Margot. Well, my kids can help me. Okay.
Hi,
Oh,
Charles.
Charles, skin cancer is it's so tricky. So I am sorry. I feel for you having Irish skin. I totally hear you. Um, yeah, I'm seeing a couple of things. I see one that's pretty deep, and then I see two other, and I don't know if this one's on your arm, but I see something on your arm. I don't know where that is exactly in your arm. It's almost like they're showing me forearm. Um, and I see those seem to be treatable, or there's a couple of different treatments that you'll be doing. So it's hard to say exactly which one, but one is pretty deep, but it seems to be okay. It seems like they're going to get everything that they need from that surgery, which would be nice. So, yes, and I'll be sending lots of love and light. And as well for you when you're going into surgery, and I love telling this to people that go into surgery, when you go into surgery, call in your angels, even if it's something very light. Um, and not major and you're not under, they can still come and be present with you to help the surgeon get all of the cancer that needs to be gone, to help all the assistants work smoothly if you need anesthesia, so that the anesthesia goes smoothly. That's what your angels, your guides are there for. Call on them, get them to work for you, and have them be an active part in your life. They will get you through that. They will take you through it. If it's even helped me to not be anxious, they can do that. You're gonna find that you get this warm, chill presence. And when they're around, it's like, oh, this is nice. Thank you. Um, we need it, especially now. Call upon them. They can't help us until we do. So yeah.
There's
Oh,
trouble.
thank
She's up from her
you.
nap.
This is a piece from Arizona. So thank you, Sharon. Hi, Tina. You keep seeing crosses in the 333. Any meaning? Um, I was just looking up. I noticed what 555 was the other day. Do you know what 333 means
Actually, you know
exactly? We
what?
could pull it
I
up.
have something on my bulletin board.
Hmm.
Uh, the equilibrium. I
Equilibrium.
can't. It says mind, body, and spirit.
I mean,
Focus on all three. Uh,
and it depends on if that's an angelic number, then it has a certain meaning. 369, 9 is power and money. If you're doing the numerology. So I guess it depends on, did it feel angelic? And I don't really know that offhand, but I would assume that the 3 is very powerful, because the 3 in anything is positive too.
for me, it is. I see
Mhm.
the threes a lot. To me, it always uh, resembles the Trinity to me.
Mhm.
Um, and crosses are always a good thing. I had a person that was always seeing a lot of upside down crosses,
Mm.
and a lot of people get a little alarmed by that.
Mhm.
And I know that these people have no demonic issues whatsoever. They're seeing the St. Peter's cross because he was
Oh,
crucified upside down because he didn't
right.
feel he was worthy to
Right.
be crucified the same way Jesus was.
Right.
So when I let them know that, they go, "Oh, that makes sense," because boom, and then they put the pieces together.
Mhm.
Um, but to me, I get good feelings from that question from Tina.
Mhm.
But what the meaning is exactly, I don't know. That's your in your wheelhouse there.
Mm. Yeah.
Do you feel anything?
No, and that's what I'm wondering. I mean, I know that it's powerful. Here, let me just pull it up because now I need to know.
Yeah, I can't see all the way over to my bulletin board. Let me see what it says. Here, you
That's all
take
right.
over.
Okay. So now
It
that
says
Sean's out of the way.
it says mind, body, and spirit. Focus on all three aspects. Don't neglect one for the other when you see this number.
All right. So what I have in the angelic number 333 is it is associated with femininity, creativity, and intuition. When you come across the angel number, think of it as a friendly love note to stop worrying so much. Oh, I love that.
I do too.
Yeah. So good. That's nice. So that's your guides letting you know that they're around. So use them. They're like right there. So yeah, be observant. I love that fun little messages that they send. Be aware of those, especially in the next couple of weeks until we get into January. We're going to be seeing more of that through astrology. They're lining up and some of the planets. Yeah, good. I'm glad you like that, Tina. Um, 5 of the planets are going to be going direct, which is going to be really awesome. So there's lots of cool stuff coming up. But okay, what else? What questions?
Well, before somebody else jumps in there, let me see what I got for you here. I got a few that some of your fans and followers sent in.
Okay.
Everybody wants to know how Halloween, since you weren't here, how your Halloween was, and what's if you have any updates on. I know you have an event coming up again at Cafe Venice, but anybody
Mhm.
wants to know any updates on Cafe Venice and how
Okay.
was your Halloween?
Sure. Well, I took the day off because I worship candy. No, I don't. Because I just sat there eating.
Here, look what I just discovered here.
What do you
I
have?
didn't. I. This has to have been here years because it's a
Oh,
gift from my sister, and I forgot that I stuck it up on my counter.
oh no. Oh, and that's a good one. You wasted that for years, but does it ever go bad? Does chocolate go bad?
I don't think so. I sure hope not.
I don't know. I'm not an
Oh, I
expert.
know
I don't
why I
know.
saved it because there's a beautiful prayer from Mother Teresa
Oh,
on the
okay, good.
candy bar. That's why I saved it.
Oh, good, Charles. And we'll be thinking of you.
Yes, Charles. Oh, I'm so glad Charles didn't leave us because I wanted to let him know that I'm going to light a candle for you, Charles, and say a prayer for you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay.
And let us know how it goes, Charles. Keep us posted, and we'll be sending you light and love. Oh, Tina. Oh. So, um, how long ago, Tina and I know this is the hard part about not being able to have people in person. How long ago has he passed? Because what ends up happening is that um, he goes into almost kind of like a oh, what do I want to call it? Kind of in like this quiet time where he gets to look at everything past, present, future, and he sits in it and he gets to go, oh, okay, I get it. Um, and he's surrounded by love and guidance as long as he's willing, because we can't help. Nobody can, the guides and angels can't help him regardless of wherever he is, on this side of the veil or on the other. And until he's ready to. And then once he makes that decision, then the guides, help them. Uh, and this goes for everyone, no matter how you pass. And you get to sit there and you get to look and go, okay, this makes sense, or why was this so difficult for me? And they are given that moment to find compassion for themselves, because the first part they have to heal is their love for themselves, or their lack of, or what was ailing them in the struggle. um, and then they're able to kind of move forward and heal that. And then eventually you get to really kind of come into your own energy and help others that are struggling maybe with the same thing or other issues. And you're able to work through, uh, on the other side, helping people that are here struggling on the planet. So it's really is cool how it all kind of works. 12 years ago. Oh, he was 21. Yeah, it's such a tough age. So I bet between now and then, he's been helping a lot of people. And especially now where we're seeing that the planet is so difficult, that I bet he's helping a lot of people work through their stuff. And if not, guiding them to a place where they don't have to struggle anymore and are not suffering. And that's huge too, to be greeted on the other side by a loving, kind presence like him. So, yeah, thank you. Um, I do not, Kelly. I do not at this moment because takes a lot of energy to figure out who is here for you. Um, but thank you for asking. If we had more time, I would be able to kind of separate that and give that time for you. So, and there was another question we missed. I don't know if we could come back to that.
Zach might have it, be able to retrieve that
Okay.
for us. I didn't see when I was busy listening to you,
Yeah.
looking at you.
So,
Oh,
oh, good. And I'll be sending you. Really fill this area with light. Breathing that light in will help, and the trust, knowing that your guides are there and making that connection. Because I'm sure he's been in contact with you. I almost am positive. So, Cafe Venice. Oh, you had a friend tell you today that they had a dream and I was in it, but I was standing there not sure what that meant. Um, and you weren't talking. Or you probably weren't. You were just standing there. Okay. Um, it really is about your friend. This is about whatever your friend is in, and Sharon, what you represent to your friend. Because that's the interesting part. I love dissecting dreams. I love symbology, so it's fun to break down. Um,
Sharon bought me a wonderful. I don't know where it's at. It's somewhere in here. She bought me
yeah.
this, and it might actually be. Boom.
Score, touchdown, whoop whoop.
She's always
That's a
buying me these.
nice one.
Yeah, Martha Clark Dreams, the big
Ooh.
dictionary of dreams. I'm in there all the time because you know Sharon has tends to have night terrors, and I went through some bouts of having some night terrors too,
Mm-hmm.
here and there, on and off, and so I'm in there all the time, and I get visitations
Mm-hmm.
from spirit in when I'm sleeping a lot of
Yeah.
times too. So I will, and there's something to be said about, and I know you say that's a good idea, I'm going to do it, and I even forget sometimes, but I am notorious for I can have the most vivid dream that maybe it lasts a second, but it feels like it lasted all night long. You went on this huge journey, and I'll wake up, and a couple of minutes after I wake up, I forget it.
Yeah.
So will write them down immediately, even if you got to run to the bathroom and go pee. I
Right.
don't, or the
Oh, you're
dog's
good.
the dog's laying on you, or you're just
Mm-hmm.
thirsty and you need to go get. No, I stop right away and write it down, and then sure enough, later on, having breakfast or lunch or whatever, I'll start reading that, and it'll all start coming back, and then you look at it with a completely different perspective now that you're wide awake and you're reading what you wrote down right after you woke up having this crazy dream. So I recommended that to people all the time. And a lot of paranormal investigators, it's easy for them to do that because well, every good paranormal investigator always has a notepad with them when they're on investigations and will write stuff down. And I tell a lot of clients to do that too when they're experiencing these things. And I can't always be there. Keep a journal.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how I approach trying to
Yeah, that's
analyze
helpful.
my dreams. Dreams are crazy though, and they can really. It's just it's it's crazy how it can really shape your day and your attitude, depending on what kind of dream it was you had, and that's just regular dreams, not the night terrors. But and I fibbed to Sharon the other night. She was either getting ready to go to bed, like I can't I have to have a comedy on at bedtime, or she would definitely, if it's a horror movie or a spook show or something, she can't watch that and go to bed. She'll definitely have a night terror.
Mm-hmm.
So she was either getting ready for work and I didn't want this to slow her down, or she was getting ready to go to bed. One of the two. But she came out and she said, "What was that banging?" It was like somebody with a hammer in our attic the other day banged 3 times in our attic, right on the ceiling. And I know it
Mhm.
wasn't one of our cats.
Right.
And I just said, "Oh, it's that pipe. You know, our pipe when you turn the water on and off. Like when her toilet,
Oh.
especially if you flush it,
Mhm.
there's some type of valve in the piping
Mhm.
that, when it kicks on and then kicks off to shut the toilet water off after it's done doing its thing, you'll hear a little knock up there. But this was different than that. But I told her, "Well, it's that pipe. It's that noisy pipe of ours." So yeah, it's been a little active here. Anything on the whispering yet?
Nothing. Nothing on the whispering. I actually felt more of a guiding somebody, so it wasn't ancestral. No one ancestral came forward. So, and you don't need to. Like even with your, I know you like to race and write stuff down, but know that your subconscious has all that information. Like your guides are talking to you, so even if you can't hear it, our human body, our human ego self wants to hear everything and go, "What was that? I need this." But let it go. Now, don't have so much stress because you're going to absorb it. Your mind is so vast that it stored it. It has it. It
Oh,
heard
very
it.
cool.
It'll kick it back up if it needs to, and if it doesn't need to, then you just let it go.
Very, very
So,
good.
so I had a cool thing about so the Cafe Venice. We have an investigation set for tomorrow night, and the group that was coming, um, a majority of the group has COVID, so we canceled the whole
Oh no.
thing. Yes, so it's canceled because we don't want to contaminate, and even if they don't have it yet, and they may have it, and yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
that's
That's
okay. It's
always a
okay.
great turnout. The events that you and Daniel put on there at the
Hmm.
Cafe Venice. Um,
So we
what
had a
did I
cool
want to
thing
ask
about
you?
that. We had a
Yeah,
cool
talk
thing
to me
with that.
about that. And
Okay,
then I want to talk
so
to you after the Cafe Venice. I want to talk to you about the documentary that you appeared in for the
oh,
Lady of the
sure,
Dunes.
sure. Um, So on the first floor is the restaurant. Fantastic restaurant. If you're in the area, definitely check it out. It's in Norwood, Massachusetts. You can't go, but if you're in the Norwood area, definitely check out the Cafe Venice. The food is great. Um, the second floor is apartments, and the third floor is an apartment under construction. So there's nobody on the third floor, people living on the second floor, and then the restaurant. So a new tenant moves into the second floor, and she's lying there in the middle of the night. And the tenant on the third floor is making all this noise, running back and forth and back and forth. And it sounds like a little child. Bum, 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 bum. You know how like a little kid would run. And so she decides she's going to record it on her phone, and so she takes a video. So it's all you see, this video is black night and these little feet running across above her head. So in the morning she calls the landlord like at 5:30 in the morning and said, the tenants upstairs are horrible, this is awful, and it was so bad I took a video of it, I recorded it, so you could see what I have to deal with. And she ended up moving out. So the Karen, who's part owner of the restaurant, calls and says, "What do I tell her?" And I said, "Well, you just got to tell her the truth. Like there's no tenant on the third floor, so I don't know what she heard. I mean, I know what she heard. She heard a little ghost child that we've been trying to investigate, but she says, "How do I tell her? What do I say?" And I said, "Just." I mean, it's on TV now. It's anywhere, so you can't tell her. You can't, just tell her that you have ghosts and that you apologize for the noise. That you have professionals working on it to figure out and try to resolve the noise, but eventually you just kind of make peace with it or and learn to live with them. They're not harmful, they're just unfortunately distracting at 3 o'clock. But she was new, and so I swear the ghosts know the new people. That's why I love when we have
Yeah.
these groups, because the ghosts kind of target the new people, and we're just like, oh, that's just Susan, no, it's just Daniel. So they target the new people and you may get more information. So I kind of like this, it helps us gather info. But yeah, the woman moved out, and so there you go. That's
That's
kind of
very cool.
funny.
I wish I did
Yeah.
live closer to to you. I would definitely like to hang out just as an observer and
Oh, we would
have a
have so much fun, wouldn't we? Oh my
yeah,
god.
that would be very, very cool.
Yeah.
Before we run out of time, let me make sure everybody knows
Ah,
how to reach out to you.
okay.
One, I was stalking you
Yeah.
this past week, even though I know that we don't talk about a ton of stuff because I'm hoping, you're busy with readings.
Yeah.
But you offer, and this is so cool. You offer a $25 gift certificate for a psychic reading.
Right.
That's a great
Yeah,
stocking
right.
stuffer.
Well, I'm taking $25 off of the purchase of a full reading, which is a 50-minute reading, and in the hopes that that kind of helps out people for the season. It's a great gift to give, but it's also a great gift for yourself. You don't have to
Absolutely.
use it right now if you're not ready to have it, but eventually you're going to want a reading, and so there you go.
Well, your website is Cape Cod Happy Medium, all one word.com.
Correct.
And you're now on TikTok.
I am now on
But
TikTok.
your TikTok, I believe, Cape Cod Happy Medium, but it's Ghost Girl?
Well, Cape Cod Happy Medium is how you'll find it, and then your name is Ghost Girl. So my name is Ghost Girl.
Cool. And
Yeah,
then you got a Facebook page, Happy Medium, all one word.
correct.
Um, and so that's how you guys can reach Susan and have her do very cool things to you before you.
Yeah,
So you had a cool Halloween.
had a good
Um,
Halloween. Something I canceled. I was going to be doing it on a live event, and it canceled. So that's why I didn't. So I'm sorry. I wish I would have
all right.
loved to have been there, but you had
That's
someone else
okay.
just as lovely. I'm sure it was wonderful.
Another psychic. I figured I might as well stick with the theme
Right.
and have another psychic on. She didn't do readings,
Mhm.
but she's was an expert in ghost photography, and she's a
Ooh,
member of
that's
one of the
fun.
largest ghost paranormal investigative teams on the West Coast. So she's been on a
Wow,
couple of shows,
that's
so it was
cool.
really cool. But I missed you, and I got a
Oh,
lot of people reaching out wanting to know where you were, and
I
I told.
ghosted you.
What else is funny is that I watch it. We talked about it earlier in the green room. I saw you on the show that you're on this morning,
Mhm.
and I always catch that show on the same day that you're going to be on my show later. I think the host of the show is a real character.
Oh, Stephanie is
So I
wonderful.
thought to myself, I didn't know if she's into what we're into or if she would
Mhm.
even be interested in being a guest on the show. So I go to her Facebook page to stalk her
Yeah.
for some information. She's one of those people that has absolutely no personal information about herself in the about section. So then I thought, oh, friend of Susan, she's probably in the witness protection program.
Right.
So, uh, so you have to tell me if you think that if she's into our kind of stuff and would maybe like to be a guest on my show, or if she's
Isn't
just
she
the
who
host of
yeah.
that show and not into our thing.
Well, we after today, we are going to do an investigation at her house.
Whoa.
And so maybe after we do the investigation that maybe she would like to come on so we can talk about the evidence because I know we're going to get stuff. Yeah, we're going to get good stuff. So,
I have a question here, but I don't know who that question is from. I'll let you
okay.
read it. Can you see it?
Okay, yes, I can. And her, if you want to listen to what she's up to and what she's doing, it's Lemon Adio. It's like Lemon Radio, but lemonadio.com.
Hi, Nikki.
So, hi, Nikki.
I don't know who the question's from. Do
Okay, so
you?
here's my question. I had a dream years ago that I was the captain of a ship that was boarded by pirates. My crew was being beaten up and overtaken when the captain came across the boarding plank. It was a small person. What the hell does that mean? I woke up laughing his behind off. Okay. So, um, hmm, I don't know.
Do you know who that question is from?
No, I don't think it really matters.
Okay.
So here's the question. I had was boarded by pirates. Be the crew was being beaten up and overtaken, but he was not. See, there's questions I need. I need to add these
My crew
things.
was being beat up and overtaken when the captain came across the boarding plank. It was a small person. I'd like to know if this person just got done watching all of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies back to back to back to back to back, had a marathon, and then went to bed.
Yeah.
Um, and this is no, I was
No.
not.
Yes. Well, I agree. Okay. So
That's a bad word. I use midget all the time. I know it's a bad word. I'm not very woke. Um, because when I refer to the little people, that could be in my house. That could be something totally different with all the elemental activity.
Susan is either thinking really hard or she froze on us.
Uh,
I think my question may have stumped her.
she may have to reboot or something, or maybe she will kick back in. Maybe we lost her signal.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe somebody
the
on the other.
maybe the small people pirates kidnapped her signal.
Did we ever get a name? Oh, is she back yet? No. Did anybody get
No,
a?
no, she dropped off. So, yeah, Shawn, that was actually my question.
Oh,
That
okay.
was a dream I had years and years and years ago. So, way before Pirates of the Caribbean. So, but one of the you guys were talking about dreams, and that was the funniest dream I think I've ever had in my life. So, but
Very, very
uh,
cool.
hopefully we'll be joined again by Susan here in a moment.
Yes, hopefully we will. But if anybody has a question for me, great opportunity with what do we got left here? About 10 minutes before I say goodnight to everybody. So if you have a question for me, and I have a bunch of questions in the mail, the paranormal ministry mailbag, and I didn't think I would need it tonight. So I left the bag on the other side of the room. And I also have prayers in the prayer urn. And I left the prayer urn on the other side, although there's only a couple left in there. I was very busy. My computer made a funny noise and then shut down. Sorry. Somebody doesn't want her to answer your question, Zach, or somebody doesn't want her to continue giving readings. Susan, if you're able to to come back, you're more than welcome to. We got about 10 minutes left. If you want to come back, Susan. But if anybody has a question for me, shoot. Um, I'm an open book. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and if I don't know the answer to something, I will tell you I don't know the answer. One of the things that I know I was going to try to talk to Susan about, she sent me an article that I didn't get a chance to read until actually last night. It's about, oh, how many students were there? Did I write this down? I don't know if I wrote this down or not. But there were a bunch of students in Columbia. And if anybody knows this story or has any further information for me, let me know. But it was a bunch of students, and I want to say 7, 8, maybe more students, young kids, all collapsed at a school in Columbia after a Ouija board session. Now, I read the article, and what's weird was when the kids, first of all, I have a question as to this school, how were these kids able to be by themselves and conduct a Ouija board session? I don't know. I find that very interesting. That's taking the whole teacher shortage a little bit too far, if you ask me. But when the kids were discovered, they were all passed out. They were foaming at the mouth. They all had fevers and they were vomiting. And boom!
I don't
somebody,
know what happened.
somebody doesn't want you to finish. You have a little ghost there. That's your daughter's office,
We
correct?
do, right.
You
So
have a little ghost there.
it made a zzz, and it froze everything, and then it shut down. I'm like, So I don't know what happened, but that was interesting.
I was
Hmm.
telling everybody about that article you sent me about the children that collapsed
Oh,
after the
good.
Ouija board.
Okay.
And it was so funny when you sent me that article, I was actually working.
And do you mind I
Here.
send you the
No,
craziest
not at
things?
all.
So
I was
okay, good,
actually
good, good.
working with a Ouija board.
What? That's really pretty.
This is actually a piece of slate.
I
This
was
is
gonna say it looks like
stone.
slate. Wow, where'd you get
And
that? That's impressive.
well, it was a gift.
Mhm.
And I have one that's very similar to that that has a lot of different type of Celtic stuff on it. And that was
Mhm.
the Ouija board that Sharon and I was using
Mhm.
many, many years ago that night that something followed us home.
Mhm.
And then our lives were turned upside down for about 5 years after that.
Right.
I bound that Ouija board, and I'll throw this out there to everybody. When I did this, I didn't have a clue what I was doing, and I shouldn't have used the Ouija board because what was there was I was out of my league dealing with it, and that just made things worse, not only for me and Sharon, but for my clients. Um, I bound that Ouija board, and for a while, I had to do several bindings on it because
Mhm.
I would find it in different areas of the master bedroom. Like it's in
That's
a
crazy.
box
Yeah.
bound, but it
Yeah.
would be, I didn't want to put it out in the garage, but it would be
Right.
under like the dresser. Then it would be underneath a table out from under the dresser. I'd ask Sharon, "Did you move that Ouija board?" No, I don't touch it.
Oh, thank
Um, Weird things
classy.
like that. I know people all the time say to me, "You need to give that stuff away," and I don't want to burden somebody else with something
Right.
that's funky and give
Right.
it to them in their life. Um, I don't. I'm not that even self-proclaimed experts on binding. I think they're on the fence when it comes to burning stuff. I don't know how much of how much you release out into the cosmos when you burn something, and
Mhm.
now it's out there just to do whatever it wants.
Mhm.
Sharon, right before you crashed, I was asking. Oh, this is a good question too. I'll get back to the
Oh,
Ouija board.
okay.
Yeah, we have one cat. Well, we have like 14 cats living in the yard,
Mhm.
but there's about 5 of them that we're very close with. Um, One of them is an all gray one, looks like the original Pet Cemetery cat. And all of
Oh,
a sudden, he
pretty.
just it's been a couple of weeks now, and he just disappeared.
I think he's
Um,
gone. I'm not feeling anything negative. I think he is chosen to live someplace else.
okay, well, there was a lot here. He probably just got,
Mm,
you know,
yeah, and
they
I got
don't.
the he moved on. He's just the little man walking around. He's just moved on. So he's okay.
Okay, very cool. That
Yeah,
was a good
not to
question. Thank
worry.
you for asking it. She asked me to ask you that. And I totally forgot. So thank you, Sharon.
Thank you, Sharon.
Um, yeah, we just disappeared, and sometimes cats will do that. Of the many that we have floating around and out in the
Mhm.
yard, but then after a few days, just right about the time we go, have you seen the black and white one, or the gray and white one, or the black one, or spirit lately? Right about the time we know we haven't seen them in a few days, boom, there they are. They show up. But it has been a couple of weeks, and we haven't, and he just
Do you
jumps
name
right
them
on it.
all?
I just call him Pet Cemetery.
Can you
Spirit is
name
the
one, Susan?
the
Can
one
you name
the
one
one
after
that
me?
that we really 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 love, that we're fond of, that just after this female showed up on our front doorstep with 7 kittens,
Mhm.
and then we started taking care of them. Then as soon as she knew we would take care of them, she takes off.
Mhm.
So we put all these carriers out in the yard, and we've got, I don't know, 4 or 5 bowls out there, always filled with food.
Is that recently they just had another litter? I thought you got everybody.
No, yeah, we got everybody, and
Okay.
they're much older than
Okay. Yeah.
they were. But
Okay.
one
Okay.
night, I looked out my curtain in the front yard, and there was this little tiny something white
Oh.
on our doorstep. And I go, Sharon, come here and look at this. Is that a kitten? And she picked
Oh.
it up and she goes, "Oh, that is a little kitten." There was a little tiny white
Oh
kitten,
my
solid
goodness.
white, with just a black tail,
Oh my god.
a blue eye,
Must be
and a
so
green
cute.
eye.
Oh, shut
And
up. Oh,
yeah,
cute as a
just
button.
sitting there.
Oh my god. Oh,
And
they knew.
all the other cats were bigger looking, like, where the hell did you
Yeah,
come
right.
from?
kid,
And so
move
we just
over.
called it Spirit because for a while there,
Mm.
like it seemed like the cat was just appearing out of nowhere and then gone like that, then back again, then gone.
Oh, that's cute. That's a perfect
Um,
name.
yeah, so um, we're fond of that one, and so that one we did give a name, but the other ones like one we call Groucho because when we first started to try to be friendly to it, every time you even got eye to eye contact with it, it would go. And then now you can't. You walk outside and it's like wearing a pair of shoes. He comes up and sits on your foot and grabs your leg, and now you're walking around with this cat on your leg
Oh my
because
God,
he
that's
just he loves you
hysterical.
so much.
Oh my
And
God,
him
I
and
love
Spirit are really close.
it. Hmm.
But then we have Tux, who's this huge. I believe he's got some Maine Coon in him, but he
Mm.
looks like he's wearing a tuxedo.
Oh, cute.
So
I
we
love
call him
that.
Tux. But the other ones we just call Pet Cemetery. The one that's all black I call Halloween decoration. Um, we
That's
got
cute. Oh, I love that.
so, but there's a bunch of them out there. But now every single cat in the neighborhood comes and lounges and eats and drinks and plays,
Mm.
and then they go
Hmm.
to their homes. They
Then they
all
go
have
back home.
homes,
Yeah.
but we do have a core group of them that hang out here. But the gray one, all of a sudden, Pet
Yeah.
Cemetery was just we haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, and
Yeah. It's too much going on there. And he's a male. He needs his,
very cool. If he
yeah.
found another home to hang out at,
Hmm.
very cool. Good for him, and he knows he's welcome to come back, and he probably will
Right?
uh, pop pop up here. Well, I got 4 minutes left.
Ah, 4 minutes.
Everybody knows how to get a hold of you. We didn't get a chance to finish. I'll hold on to some of these stories. I wanted to talk to you about the Ouija board case.
Yeah.
Just real quick, nobody knows. They said food poisoning, but they haven't come up with the food that poisoned them.
Right. So
Bad
crazy.
water. They haven't come up with the bad water.
Right.
I'm not down on Ouija boards. I don't use them anymore. Um, and I just anybody that likes them, it's a form of conjuring, and you're opening a portal. It is what it is. Learn how to use them. Learn how to open them properly and close them properly, and just be careful. But otherwise than that, I've been telling everybody we have 2 Happy Medium Mondays left, so I believe you're going to be here
2?
next month, the
That's
day after
December.
Christmas, Monday
That's
the
1.
26th, the day after Christmas, right?
That's only 1. You said
One
2.
one left. Well, tonight and then
Well,
one
tonight.
more.
Okay. Okay. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God.
We're
Yeah.
still on for one more. Very cool.
Yeah. One more.
I love you.
I love you too.
Um, I wish the show was longer, and I
I
wish,
know.
and I'm going to get all these messages later. I wanted to
I
ask Susan a
forgot to
question,
ask
felt bad,
Susan.
but yeah.
Yeah, right. Please find me on TikToks because I put all sorts of fun little stuff, and I want to get you on so
Me?
that we can, yeah, so that we
Oh,
can uh,
okay.
go live together and have a little show on there. So that's
Very
my
cool.
plan. Yeah.
Very cool.
So,
See, very, very cool. I've never looked into TikTok. I hear great things. So
yeah,
I want you to say hi to your daughter. I
I
want you to
will.
say hi to the ghost that's there. Thank him or her for
Well,
allowing us to do the show there. Um, and I want you to have a great remainder of your Monday evening. And God bless you. I pray for you all the time.
oh, thank you.
And we'll talk a lot. I know we'll talk a lot between now and
Hmm.
next month when you're back. But I will see you then. And if you need to reach out to me for anything, please do.
Always. Thank you. And the door is open as well. And if anybody has any questions that we didn't get to listen to, you know how to reach me. So until then,
I'll see you later.
see you.
Bye bye. Yay! She will be back the last Monday of next month. I believe it's Monday night, the 26th of December, the day after Christmas. She'll be back for the final Happy Medium Monday of this year. I will be here this coming Friday with an all new show. You're going to love her. Every time she's on, not only do you all love her, but the elementals around the house here really love having her on. Morgan Daimler. She's an author and she's an authority on the world of the Fae. So we will be talking about fairies and fays and all of that good stuff this coming Friday. I want to thank Zach and Adrian Clayton, my co-producers. Go to communitypayitforward.us. Communitypayitforward.us. Find something to donate to there. There's so much great stuff going on at that site. The usocc.org, my church, usocc.org. We have Bible study Monday through Friday, every night at 7 p.m. Pacific. You can go to bishopjameslong.com, get the link for night prayer, and it's only about 15 minutes long, but it's a great way to end your evening. And then every Wednesday afternoon and Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m. Pacific, Bishop Long has Bible study, and that's about 2 hours long, but that is really a cool time. And you can also go to bishopjameslong.com, find the link there to Bible study. I want to thank Things Network. I want to thank Temple of Phoenix Rising Entertainment. I want to thank Skeleton Key Network. I want to thank PACT, little p, capital ACT, Podcasting All Coming Together channel for all of these networks simulcasting my show. God bless you all for that. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. You're all on the prayer list. I love you all. And it's bad joke time. I'm going to pull a joke out of a haunted carnival barker hat. The joke is a joke that one of you sent in, and it's one of my poor attempts at putting a smile on everybody's face before I say goodnight. What's the easiest way to make a glowworm happy? Cut off its tail. It'll be delighted. Good night, Danny. Good night, Jack. Good night, Dog. Good night, Harold. Rest in peace. Good night, Ernie. Good night, Bill. Good night, Dan. God bless you all. I love you all. Peace.